Yeah, hi, good morning all. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah, yeah, myself, Sridhar, I'm having 16 plus years experience totally, and 8 years I used to work in big data technologies, and 3 years I am working in Snowflake technology. And now we are here to discuss about the Snowflake demo. So what is Snowflake? Snowflake is cloud-based data warehouse. Cloud-based data warehouse. So we have traditional data warehouses and cloud. Now we are having cloud-based data warehouse. So before jumping into the Snowflake, just I would like to discuss what is cloud and what is data warehouse. So just I want to give a very high level about the cloud. So we have on-premises infrastructure and cloud infrastructure. So in the as part of the on-premises infrastructure, if any sorry, someone go on mute, please. Yeah, thank you. So in the on-premises, if any organization wants to set up their IT department, they need to take care about the servers setup and hardware, software installations, networking, and maintenance, everything like this. So many activities are there. All these activities has to be taken care by the organization itself. And also that particular organization has to maintain the skilled resources also as part of the admin work. So like this we have so many activities, and also it required upfront investment. This is about the on premises. But nowadays, all the organizations are moving from on premises to cloud. So, here, if we are opting the cloud, so what are the activities we need to follow in the on premises case? No need to work in the cloud. Everything is taken care by the cloud provider. Software installations, hardware installations, everything. Even upfront investment also not required in the cloud, because the model pricing model is pay as you go. Pay as you go. It means that pay as you use. Suppose we have the different services in the cloud. Storage service. So how much storage you are utilizing, accordingly you need to pay to the cloud provider. So what are the services you are using, accordingly you need to pay. And what are the complexity of your processing, then you need to go up the warehouse clusters. So like that we have so many advantages in the cloud over the on-premises infrastructure. And also in the cloud we have the different categories called IaaS, PaaS, SaaS. Means IaaS means infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. So based on our requirement, based on our use case, we have to opt the one of the category. It can be AWS, GCP, Azure, whatever it is. If you opt the IaaS, so infrastructure it is providing. On top of the infrastructure, as an organization, we need to take care of the platform, and on top of that, software tools we have to install. Software tools to install, then we can build our applications. Build our applications or data warehouses, whatever it is. In the IaaS. Suppose if you are opting the PaaS, it is automatically included IaaS and platform as a service. So here in this case, we no need to take care of infrastructure and platform. Only we need to take care of the software tools. which are required to our business development applications in case of the PAS category. Suppose if we are opting the SAS, known it is providing the infrastructure, platform and software as well. No need to worry about the anything. Just we can focus on our application development. So each category we will discuss in detail in our regular classes. This is about the cloud and on-premises. Why we are discussing here is Snowflake is a cloud-based data warehouse. Now we have discussed the cloud, right? Another one is here if you see data warehouse. What is data warehouse? See here we have the database and a data warehouse. Data warehouse is meant for just I am trying to give you a high level overview. Database is meant for OLTP transactions processing, online transactional processing, whereas data warehouse is meant for OLAP, online analytical processing. This is for transactions and this is for analytical purpose. That is the major difference between the database and data warehouse. So we will discuss in detailed manner in our regular classes. And in the database as part of the OLTP, we can store the structured data only. Structured data only. But whereas in the data warehouses, we can store structured data, semi-structured data, and unstructured data as well. Unstructured data as well. So as we are having the different applications in our organization, any organization means ERP applications, CRM applications, and mainframes applications, web applications like Java and .NET. Each application is having its own database that can be a DB2, Oracle, or SQL Server. So those databases are called OLTP databases because we are storing the only transactional data in there, and we are moving the data from the different databases to the data warehouse. Means I can say heterogeneous sources to data warehouse. Heterogeneous sources means it can be any RDBMS means Oracle, DB2 or SQL Server. Not only RDBMS, any file systems also. It can be XML files, JSON files, or CSV files, or any unstructured files or media files also. So we are pulling the data from the different heterogeneous sources and loading into the data warehouse. While we are loading everything into the data warehouse, there is a reason. Data warehouse is always for single source of data, single source of truth. Means we have the different sales applications and purchase applications, finance applications, customer relation applications, and mainframes applications. Suppose if you take the insurance, premium applications, claim applications, customer applications. So each application is having its own sources, databases. If any business user wants to consolidate or consolidated the data, you don't need to go to all the data sources. Just only single source is data warehouse. He has to interact with the data source to build his analytical models. That's what we can say data warehouse is a single source of truth for data. How we are pulling the data from the different sources into the data warehouses? We have the mechanism called ETL, means extract, transformation, then load. Earlier, we are using for traditional data warehouses. For traditional data warehouses, we use it to have a ETL mechanism. Extract, transformation, then load. Traditional data warehouses. But now cloud data warehouses, now particularly Snowflake, we are using the ELT mechanism. What is it? Extract, load, then transform, then transform. There is a major advantage in the ELT over ETL. What is that? We will discuss in detail. Just here I am trying to give you an overview. In the traditional data warehouses, they are following the ETL mechanism. In the cloud data warehouses, they are following the ELT mechanism. When this ELT mechanism is being introduced is from big data onwards. We have the big data technologies, right? Hadoop onwards, we are following the ELT mechanism. Even on premises also, if it is a Hadoop, we are following the ELT only. So while doing this, what are the layers involved? What is architecture? What is the flow, your data flow we have to follow? What are the guidelines? We will discuss in detail. If you have any doubts, please stop me there itself and ask me. I will try to clarify. Okay, this is about the ETL and ELT. And also cloud data warehouse, particularly cloud data warehouses. In the market, we have the different data warehouses are available. Snowflake, Redshift, Synops. Fourth one is BigQuery. These are the cloud data warehouses, cloud-based data warehouse. Another traditional data warehouse, we have so many. Teradata, Oracle, SQL Server. We have so many data warehouses in the on-premises. But nowadays, organizations are moving from the on-premises to cloud. So these four data warehouses are available as part of the cloud. So among these four, Snowflake is having the unique advantages and unique features in all the aspects in the sense pricing aspects, architecture aspects, processing aspects, performance aspects, and so there are so many advantages while compared to other three data warehouses. And it can be a Snowflake can be deployed on any public cloud like we can deploy it on the Azure, we can deploy it on the AWS, or we can deploy it on the GCP also. And mainly Snowflake has a unique architectural perspective while compared to other. What is the architecture? Snowflake architecture. In the as part of the architecture, we have the different layers called storage layer, and processing layer, a computation layer, and services layer. Each layer is having its own features and own functioning. And let me explain through pictorial representation. See, this is called the architecture diagram for the Snowflake. This is the storage layer, database storage layer. This is the query processing layer. This is the servicing layer. So in the database layer, Snowflake stores the data in the form of micro partitions. This is a unique and very powerful feature in the Snowflake and selling point also for the Snowflake while compared to other data warehouses. Because if you see in the Hadoop, in the Hive database, we are forcibly or explicitly, we are applying the micro partitions to address the performance issues, to improve the performance in the Hive database, in the Hadoop. So, but in the Snowflake itself is providing the micro partitions concept by default. We no need to do anything, any programs we need no need to do, and any configurations also it doesn't require to set up the micro partitions in the database. How it will work and how it is storing, how we are retrieving the data from the micro partitions, we will see in detail. And also, if you are opting, if you are trying to deploy the this Snowflake in the GCP, so underlying cloud is GCP storage. If you are trying to deploying in the AWS, underlying storage is S3. If it is Azure, blobs. That we no need to bother. Even we don't know the commercials between the Snowflake and that cloud provider also. Just only we need to store the pull the data from the sources and loading into the Snowflake database. That's it. The Snowflake is a data warehouse in the very simplified manner. This is about the storage layer. The another one is processing layer. This is the heart of the Snowflake, we can say. Very important in the interview perspective and certification perspective. See, this processing layer provides and helps us to do our computational processing. Suppose if you are building the any analytical models, any data science models, or any AI models or ML models, this processing layer helps us. And it has the virtual warehouses. And these virtual warehouses provide the resources to do the processing. These virtual warehouses providing the resources, because suppose if you want to execute the any query, any complex query or simple query, whatever it is, it requires the resources, right? Like computer resources, I can say. Like in our tradition, in our layman example, it requires the RAM, etc., resources. So those resources will be providing by the these virtual warehouses. And it is a huge concept in the Snowflake, because the virtual warehouses is available in the different sizes based on our business demand, based on our requirement, and based on the user group. We will choose the size of the virtual warehouse, and we can scale up and scale down horizontally and vertically both, and scale in and scale out. These features and options are available while we are using the virtual warehouse. So what are how we are using, how we are creating programmatically, how we are defining the size, how we can alter the size, and in which scenario we are going to use the what is the size. Suppose we are having the different sizes, X small, medium, large, like that. So medium, in which scenario we are using, large, in which use case we have to opt it. Like that, everything we will discuss in detail. Because without virtual warehouse concept, we don't have a certification exam, or you wouldn't have the interview also. And next one is cloud services layer. So here just we are trying to understand the concept only. Here we being a developer, no need to do anything as part of this services layer. Everything will take care by the Snowflake infrastructure manager to managing and to providing everything as part of the infrastructure facilities. Optimizer, we have the like micro partitions and clustering. We have so many features available in the Snowflake that is taken care by the optimizer service. Metadata manager, suppose if you are storing any kind of file, CSV, JSON file, or tabular data, so it has to be maintained the metadata. Metadata means data about the data. Suppose if you are storing the JSON file, so what is the file name, what is the file size, what kind of data it is, everything, when it has been created, when it has been altered, everything about that particular data has been stored in the metadata, has been handled by the metadata manager. And security, authentication and access control, what this service is. So what are the objects we have, we who can, suppose we have the so many user groups, which user is having which object. So what are the roles we are mapping to them? Everything will providing by the cloud services. And if you observe here in this here, we have three layers, right? All three layers are in the decoupled manner. We are not seeing any connection or inflow or outflow between these three layers, right? So that's what it is, a very unique feature also in the decoupled manner. Means each layer is functioning independently. And also here, suppose virtual warehouse, each virtual warehouse has its own cache. We have the different caches, results cache and metadata cache, that is useful to improve the performance optimization technique. If you see here, see each virtual warehouse is having its own cache based on its size. Okay, this is the architecture overview of the Snowflake. And the Snowflake provides the trial account to practice. 30 days trial account. Once we sign up the account into a Snowflake account, 30 days we can practice ourselves. Once it is getting expired, again we have to sign up with the same email. There is no restrictions. Just you have to freshly sign up into the Snowflake. Then you can start your practicing. As many as times. There are no restrictions. Because it's a cloud, no need to install any software, even no need to do any configurations also. Directly sign up with your details and start working and start building your data warehouse. Okay, now let me explain how to do that. Just google it and sign up Snowflake. See, this is the place where we can sign up with our basic details. First name Sridhar, last name give some name, email some abc@gmail.com, and company some whatever role, generally data engineer or data scientist, whatever. Sorry, and just continue. See here, and in the Snowflake we have the different editions. In the Snowflake provides the different editions. What are those? Standard edition and enterprise edition. Standard, enterprise, business critical edition, and VPS, virtual private software. These four editions are available in the Snowflake. Based on your organization size, based on your data, and based on your processing capacity, that we can choose the edition while setting up the Snowflake. So pricing model is also differ based on the edition which we are choosing. Generally, people will go for the enterprise edition or basic business critical edition. Standard edition is a very lightweight version in the Snowflake. We don't have all the features in the standard, but in the enterprise edition, all the features available. Everything is available. In the business critical, what are the features available in the enterprise? All features are available in the business critical, but along with that, some security features are available in the business critical. And VPS, virtual private software. So what are the features available in the standard enterprise business? Everything is available in the VPS, but it is very private to the organization. It is not in the public. Suppose if any financial organization, if they are very particular with their data, then they will go for the VPS. Okay, this is about the editions. Now see here one of the edition. Standard Enterprise Business Critical VPS is not available in the trial version. Okay, so just I am choosing the enterprise version here, enterprise edition here, and see here while setting up the account itself, we have to go choose the what is the cloud environment you are going to deploy it. Microsoft Azure or AWS or GCP. So whatever the option you are opting here, that is forever. Forever means till all this is applicable for entire account. Suppose if we are using the opting the AWS, the underlying storage is S3, S3 storage. What is S3 and what are the services we are required to learn? And I will explain you in our regular classes. Along with the S3, we have to know some other services also. We will cover AWS and Microsoft Azure. And also next one is region. This is the region we have to select. So we have the different regions, but we have to select the nearby region to avoid the latency. Just check the terms and conditions, get started. See, we can give any training or certification like this, or we can skip also. Skipping here and just skip it. That's it. Now we have received one notification, notification link to the abc@gmail.com, which we have provided while setting up. Just we have to click that one to enable our Snowflake 30 days trial version. This is very much simple to signing up into the Snowflake. Just already I have the trial version set up. That's what I have given some dummy email like this. So once you are clicking that, it is asking username and password. Then it looks like this. This is the Snowflake web UI. Okay. In the UI perspective, we have for the Snowflake, we have three types of UIs. One is classic, classic web UI, and Snowside. This is recently introduced Snowside, and one is and another one is SnowSQL. We will discuss each UI in our regular classes. This is called classic web UI. Okay, just I would like to go through the each component here at a high level, not in detail as part of the demo. Okay, now see here, this is the roles. These are the roles providing by the Snowflake. Account admin, org admin, public, security admin, sysadmin, user admin. Each role is having a specific functionality and specific purpose. So along with this by default roles, we can create our custom roles also. Suppose if I want to create the one role for the business users, I can create and I can map it. Suppose there is a data scientist group. I want to create the custom role. So I can create the custom role and I can map it to that particular user group. So each role and custom roles we will discuss in detail. Account admin is the super role in the Snowflake. In the real time, only max 2 or 3 people are having these privileges, account admin role privileges. That to client person only, client SMEs they are having. We don't have the account admin privileges in our projects because it has everything. We can delete, modify, alter, or give the permissions to anyone. We can do anything. That's what, and it's a costly also. Max two persons only having the account admin, or 2 or 3, more than not more than 3 for sure. And we have other roles and custom roles. Okay, and now we have the different features here. Different basically in the databases components, there we can create the databases and see here, see these are the databases. Even we can create the database using this UI also. But in the real time, we are not creating in this way, creating programmatically only. I will show you how to create programmatically. But practice purpose, we can create the through UI. But in the real time, through scripts only, we are creating the databases, our tables, our views, our stages, file formats, everything. Suppose here test db1 and see if you show SQL. This is the syntax to create the database. Create database, database name. Finish it. See testdb1. So if you go inside here, within the database, we can create the tables, views, schemas, stages, file formats, sequences, and pipes. Again, we can create through UI or programmatically. Suppose table 1 and schema public. I will explain you what is this about the schema and how many schemas are available. Can we create our custom schema or not? Everything we will discuss. Suppose I wanted to add column 1, column 1. These are the data types available in the Snowflake. All are the primitive data types like other databases and timestamp, integer, varchar, everything. But only one important point is variant data type. When we are using this variant data type is, suppose if you want to store the any semi-structured file like XML file, CSV file or JSON file, we can go for this variant data type. Okay, like that we can discuss in detail more about each data type also. Suppose name string, name to string, like that. Suppose show SQL. See, this is the syntax to create the database table. Create table. First one is the database name dot schema name dot table name. This is the structure of the um, columns. Table means what is the data, what is the name of the column, what is the data type of the column, and even we can mention the size of that particular column. Everything we can, just how we are creating our normal tables in our rdbms databases, same way. But the thing is, here we have to um, mention the database name, schema name, and table name. Okay, like this. Like this we can create the tables, views, schemas, everything. This is about the database one. And shares. Shares means, suppose if take any organization having their business partners. They want to share their specific data to their business partners. So in that case, Snowflake giving an option called shares object to share the specific data to their partners. Here we have the two types of shares. Share object, we can create the two types. Sharing. What are those two types is, for Snowflake users, for Snowflake users, for non-Snowflake users. Non-Snowflake users. Because suppose if their organization is having the partners which are using the Snowflake technology, then fine. Even if they are not using the Snowflake, they are using another technology also. Snowflake is able to provide the able to share the specific data to their partners. This is how to do, and what are the queries we have to do, and what are the objects we need to create. Everything we will discuss. This is about the shares. And marketplace means, actually it has provided some COVID data and financial data, and Snowflake is providing some sample data to build our analytical models. Share markets and health information from WHO and from COVID prospective data. There are so many. So just once you click this and you can log in into, there are so many data sets available. We can download it into the Snowflake and we can start building our models. That we will see later. And very, very important point is warehouses. This is the heart of the warehouse and very interesting concept also. So we can create programmatically and also through UI like this. name WH some 123 whatever the name, and see, based on our requirement business demand we can choose the size of the warehouse. And credits means this is about the pricing model. We will see about the pricing model later. So based on what is the size of your virtual warehouse, then pricing is also varies accordingly. And maximum clusters, minimum clusters. This is called multi-cluster warehouse. This enables to do the parallel processing, parallel computation, massive parallel processing, MPP. Very powerful feature. And scaling policy and auto suspend. It has the auto suspend and auto resume features. If you keep auto suspend for 10 minutes, means if you are not using 10 minutes, so it will go automatically, it will go into the suspend mode. What is the advantage? If it is in the suspend mode, Snowflake will not generate the bill for that time. Otherwise, if our warehouse is not in the suspend mode, if it is in enable mode, definitely Snowflake will generate a bill. Snowflake charging us. And whenever you start working, then it is automatically resume back, provided you are opting this auto resume option. If you are suppose if you are not providing auto suspend and auto resume options here, then it may it causes the high bill. That's what it is, the one of the guidelines we need to make sure in the production environment. So anyhow, we will discuss what are the guidelines we have to follow, what are the best practices we have to follow in the production environment and in the UAT environment, in the development environment. Everything we will discuss. See, show SQL. See, this is the syntax to create the virtual warehouse programmatically. Create virtual warehouse, warehouse name, size, everything. Just I am copying it and close it. See here, finish it. See, WH123 has been created with the given parameters. Okay, this is overview about the virtual warehouse. And one more important point is component is worksheets. This is the place we can write our queries, we can execute our queries, we can create the tables, virtual warehouses, or views. Whatever the code we are writing, SQL code we are writing, this is the place. Worksheets is the place. We can do the DDL operations, DML operations, DQL operations, whatever it is. Whatever the code we are writing, this is the place in the Snowflake. And Snowflake in the trial version, they have providing the three databases. Suppose see Snowflake underscore sample data. In this, we have so much data. So based by using these data tables, we can practice it also. Okay, now let me, this is the one query, select star from the, this is Snowflake sample data is the database name, and TPCH SF100 is the schema name, orders is the table name. So let me execute here. Just select it here, run it here, run. See, it is getting executing. See, now we are able to retrieve the 150 million records. So how much time? 26.8 seconds. See here, how much time it has been taken? 26.8 seconds for 150 million records. See, this is just, I wanted to touch a few more options here. We can download the query results by clicking here. And one more important is we can see the profiler. See, query ID, click this. It will go to this history tab. There we can go for the profile tab. See here, this is the place we can monitor our execution plan of each query. We can monitor our execution plan of for each query. It is very much useful for the complex queries with the huge volume of data. So how to trace it and how to troubleshoot it, everything we will discuss. See here, percentage of scan from cache and bytes written to the result. Everything we can capture it here. All the statistics available here about the query processing. So for each point we will discuss in detail. See, just keep it in mind. Percentage scanned from cache 0.00%. It means that whenever we are executing the query, it goes to the database and fetches the result back to us. It will not go to the cache because in the query, in the architectural perspective, we have discussed, right? Each virtual warehouse is having its own cache. But in this query, it doesn't go to the cache. It went to the database and fetches the result. That's what it is showing and mentioning 0.0% per as part of percentage scanned from the cache. Now see, go back to worksheets. See, now I am trying to execute one more time. See, very important here. See, I'm executing again back, run, run. See now, first time it is taking 26 seconds for 150 million records, but next time it has been taken 82 milliseconds. See the difference, 82 milliseconds. Why? Why means that is the powerful of the Snowflake, unique feature of the Snowflake. Very first time if you are executing the query, it goes to the database and fetches the results. But next time onwards, it will not go to the database and it instead of going to the database, it fetches the results from the cache. Here, see here. See here, first time control goes to the database and fetch the results, and then it stores these results in the cache. And next time, if you are executing the same query, instead of going to this database, Snowflake database, it fetches the results from the cache. That's what second time it has been taken 82 milliseconds. First time it has been taken 26 seconds. That is the huge difference for 150 million records, but in the real time 400, 600, 1000 million records are there. So that's what Snowflake has a cutting edge features. Okay, now see, if you see here again query ID, here profile. Now you see profile here. See, now only it is fetching from the cache results. Reuse, it has been reused, and let it execute. There we cannot see the scanned percentage from the database. Okay, so we will discuss more detail later. And suppose here we can create the, just now I have created the pasted, right? See, this is the syntax or code to create the virtual warehouse. Just now we have created wh123, right? Suppose here wh underscore wh underscore wh. So here just create select it, and here we need to pass the all the parameters, size and warehouse type and auto suspend and auto regime is true, everything. Just run it. Okay, warehouse, this name successfully created. Like this we can do our coding in the worksheets. And history, next tab is history. See, everything is available with the statistics. What is the query you have used, by which user SF3, what are the warehouses it has been utilized, what is the start time, end time, byte scanned, everything we can see here. See, if you are observing it, first time it has been utilized warehouse, next time it is not utilizing any warehouse. Then Snowflake will not charge us. That is the beauty of the Snowflake here. Because it has been taken the results from the cache place. Okay, so like this we can track here. And account, so account is for the purpose of seeing the and monitoring the usage, how much how many bytes or how much storage, data storage, and how many credits we have utilized, credits in the sense in the billing perspective, and how many warehouses we have created, how much data has been transferred from the source to target, and what is the billing, and what how many users we have created, how many user groups we have created, what are the privileges they have, what are the warehouses they are using, everything, all the statistics available here. And roles, default roles and custom roles, and policies, sessions, resource monitor, raider account to we need to create the raider account to share the data to the non-Snowflake users. See, all these options we will discuss in detail. Basically policies will be created. Suppose if you are trying to integrate with the AWS, so to as part of the integration between the Snowflake and AWS, we have to establish the policies also. Those policies we can create here, and we can map it to the AWS or GCP or Azure. This is about the account. And very important, these three things we will discuss later. And very important one is Snowsight is recently introduced and very powerful UI. So all the features available in the classic UI are here, but according to that, along with that, there is a one more feature called Snowpark. Second. Yes, yes, yes. This is called snow site. So whatever we are doing there, we can do it here. Means we have creating the warehouses, worksheets, any all the things. Apart from along with that, see here, see what till now we are seeing SQL worksheets. Along with the SQL worksheets, they are providing Python worksheets where we can write our Python coding here. And this snow site is having Snowpark also. Snowpark is for processing purpose. Earlier, before introducing the Snowpark, we are using the data bricks for processing on top of the Snowflake. But nowadays, no need to go for the data bricks also. Snowpark we can utilize it. And also this Snowpark is providing the and facilitating the for three programming languages. We can write the Scala programming, or we can write the Python programming, or Java. Whatever the programming language you are comfortable, you can opt it. So here to writing the Python program, what are the libraries required for Snowflake data warehouses? Those libraries particularly we will discuss in detail in our regular classes. First, I will explain the Python basics, not end-to-end Python, but what are the libraries, what are the APIs required for our Snowflake development. Those libraries or APIs we will discuss. Okay, this is about the Snowsite UI and classic web UI. There is a SnowSQL UI that is just like if you know the Linux environment, black screen, it is like that. We will see that also. Okay, this is about overview of the Snowflake components and Snowflake features. Okay, Now coming to what we are going to cover as part of our course, just I have a list of items. See here, before going into the Snowflake, see some basic SQL required prerequisite for the Snowflake. If you are good at SQL, it's fine. If you don't know the SQL, we will go through the what are the joins, what are the DDL commands, DML commands, DQL commands required for the Snowflake development. We will discuss conceptually and programmatically in the classes regarding the SQL. Okay, and along with the Snowflake, I am going to cover the few other concepts also, like database and data warehouse concepts. See, database versus data warehouses. What is database and OLTP, OLEP, ETL, ELT? Scenario based we will discuss, and also about the cloud and data warehouse concepts. If you see the data warehouse concepts, go down. See, these are the data warehouse concepts we are going to discuss. What are the fact tables? What are the dimension tables? What are the scenarios we will go for the fact tables? Now, what are the data models? And what is the schemas? When we will opt the star schema or snowflake schema, SCD types, slowly changing dimension, type 1, type 2, type 3, and point in time snapshot. All these things we will discuss in detail because because if you are going for snowflake interview, even you are good at snowflake, definitely there are much possibilities to have questions about the data warehouse. If you are going with the zero experience, no problem, definitely they will not ask the data warehouse concepts, I think. But if you are going with some experience, definitely without data warehouse concepts, there is no interview for sure. Even we are touching the data warehouse concepts because if you are keeping you are saying them, you are already worked for 1 year or 1.5 2 years. So while we are working in the real time, we should know about the what is the fact table, dimension table, type 1, type 2, type 3. Those we will discuss. That's what I as interview prospective to crack the interview, I have introduced this data warehouse concepts. And important point is snowflake migration. Nowadays all the projects are migration projects from on-premises to snowflake, from other cloud data warehouses to one project. Recently we are preparing this RFE document for the BigQuery to snowflake. So as part of everyone, because it's a baby in the market, Snowflake is a baby in the market. Slow projects, data warehouse on premises or cloud projects slowly migrating to the Snowflake. So as part of the migration, so what are the activities we have to do? Means what are the checklist we have to prepare? What are the documents as part of the data modeling, data profiling? And as part of the migration, we have two types of migrations are there. Two types of the migration. One is lift and shift, and split and flip. Second one is split and flip. So lift and shift means suppose we have the Teradata data warehouse. We are migrating from on-premises Teradata to the Snowflake. So we have the two options, whether lift and shift or split and flip. This can be decided by the client. So what are the activities involved as part of the lift and shift? What are the activities involved as part of the split and flip? Lift and shift means as is. Generally, these lift and shift is from the Hadoop to Snowflake. As is, with the very little customizations or little enhancements. As is migration to Snowflake. Where is split and flip is we have so much work here. From the scratch we are doing. So all the activities we will discuss in detail. Because if they are asking or not asking, if you are trying to shoot these terminologies, definitely it makes sure that you have worked. That's what I have introduced these words. Okay, now along with these concepts, so technical roles as a Suppose being a developer, what are your daily activities in the Snowflake project? So all these things we will discuss along with the Snowflake. So coming to the Snowflake, we will discuss about the introduction, Snowflake architecture and editions, pricing model, UI components, and virtual warehouse. End-to-end discussion of the virtual warehouse, how to create programmatically, how to alter everything, and scenarios where we are using Snowflake databases, stages, what is the external stage, internal stage, when we are using these different stages, and loading the CSV files and working with the JSON files. And importantly, we are working with the AWS and Azure because most of the all five projects, three are AWS, one is Azure. I have worked. I did not work on the GCP. That's what I am covering, only AWS and Azure. So even you can keep your resume in such a way. So while integrating with the AWS, so what are the activities involved, what are the objects, what are the integration objects we have created, everything we will discuss. Suppose AWS, so few services we have to know while integration, like S3 service, storage service, and policy service, IAM role service. So those services also I will explain in the AWS, not end to end of AWS, but whatever the services required for the integration perspective, we will discuss for both AWS and Azure. And the table types, we have the different table types, and what are the table types we are using in the UAT environment or a development environment, what are the tables we are preferring in the production environment, we will discuss. Views, so much powerful use here, materialized and secured views, and based on the use cases we will opt, we will go for the views. And Snowpipe, very powerful and important. We have the Snowflake, we supports the batch processing and continuous processing. So we, by using the command, copy command, we were going for the batch loading, and using the Snowpipe, continuous loading means near real time loading. And time travel, very important, and to achieve the recovery, data recovery, and UDF, zero copy cloning, sharing, stored procedure, tasks. So we have to schedule the jobs, right? So Snowflake providing the tasks to schedule the jobs. Suppose in the big data Hadoop, would to schedule the jobs, we need to go for the either autosys scheduler or control M scheduler. But Snowflake providing the tasks itself. No need to go for the third party tool. And change data capture, how it will be implemented in the Snowflake. CDC is the data warehouse concept. In the Teradata, it is there, big data is there, but how we are handling the Snowflake, we will discuss. Data masking also means as part of the sensitive data to handling the sensitive and non-sensitive data, we are using the data masking concept. And Python also we will discuss because we require the Python basic programming. So how to install the libraries using the pip commands, everything we will discuss. And another UI called SnowSQL we will discuss. And performance and best practices, this one. This is about my demo and course structure. Now please go ahead with any doubts or any clarifications, questions.
Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, hi, this is Pita. Yeah, thanks for this demo, first of all. So I have a question like, will this session will prepare someone for SnowPro certification?
Yeah, definitely it will useful,
Yeah,
but
definitely
just
it will useful, but just
it's resounding.
it's
Yeah,
resounding.
can you go for mute,
Sorry.
Can you
Akita?
go for mute, Ankita?
Yeah, sure, sure.
Yeah, thank you. So actually, SnowPro is the basic certification in the Snowflake. Definitely, whatever the concepts and features we are discussing, uh, and the two aspects, one is more, I am more focusing into the interview perspective, and next one is the certification perspective. Interview, definitely by following whatever we are discussing, definitely you should. My intention is you should be in the position to crack the interview. But coming to the certification, so on top of our course, you need to do some practice and you need to do prepare some dumps and all. I will provide the dumps, but you need to do more practice on top of that to crack the Snow Pro certification. Once Snow Pro certification is completed, after some time, you can go for the advanced or architect certification.
Okay. And um, you teach this entire concept. So will there be any kind of hands-on that we need to do from our end, or only it will be a theory part, theory
No,
session?
definitely hands-on.
No,
See,
yes,
whatever. Okay, please go on mute. Okay, thank you. See, whatever the concepts here I am mentioning, each one is a practical. You have to practice it, just not theoretical. So theoretical means you have the knowledge, but in interview prospective or certification prospective, even certification okay, but interview, if they are asking to do the coding or to ask without writing the code practically, definitely you will not get the concept end-to-end concept, Arpita, for sure. But my sincere suggestion is practice it, because no need to install anything from your end. Just sign up it, and I will whatever I am doing here, even I am explaining for each concept practically also. So suppose creating the virtual warehouse, altering, modifying, and queries execution, everything I will write the code and I will send you that. Same you can practice by yourself to get a hands on.
Okay. And one last ask, that is the code. So which and you have said that Python or Java it is somewhere required, and for database also the database query. Apart from that, the Snowflakes has its own kind of any programming language that we need to learn, or only the Python or Java section or the database section. Those be the talking part.
Mm. Yeah, actually your voice is bit breaking, but let me try to clarify your, if still if I am missing anything, please let me know. Okay, your question is in the Snowflake, we are using the SQL queries, and also we are using Java or Scala or Python, but Snowflake is having its own programming language or not? That is your question, right? Yeah. No, in that
That's right.
case,
Right.
no,
yeah, in that case, yeah, SQL, Snowflake is don't have the its own programming language, but its own framework is there. So based on that, suppose SQL, while we are writing the queries, almost it 99% it has the same syntax. Apart from that, this materialization views, tasks, and all, it has own syntax. We have to create the own functions according to the Snowflake syntax. And coming to the Python also, that's what. So Python is a open source, right? So it is providing the platform, or it is providing the framework to execute the Python programming language. So we can write our business logic in Python programming language, and it is providing, Snowflake is providing the flat framework to execute the Python business logic. So we don't have a specific programming language or a SQL query engine to the Snowflake.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Any other questions, please? Able to follow my session end to end, or it isn't confusing? If you don't know questions means I am thinking.
Yeah, yeah, I'm fine. Sridhar, how can we get this PDF, means the entire list of what exactly we are going to learn?
Sorry, come again.
the this PDF where you have listed all topics of this
Yeah,
database. We
actually,
can we
I will
discuss.
send it to the organizer. Organizer will share it with you.
Okay, got it. Thank you. No further question from my end.
Okay. Yeah, if no one is having any questions, we can wind up this session. Yeah, thank you all. Thank you so much for your time. Bye.
Bye.